Peace Collective. Welcome back to the realm of alignment where we unlock the body's hidden codes. Today's episode is one for the books because we're going to get deep into what kin numbers are and talk about the power behind your life's purpose. Okay, so let's talk about what kin numbers are to begin with. Your kin number, we can just look at it like this, is your soul's energetic blueprint. So think of it like you have a cabinet, like if you've ever seen the movie Bruce Almighty, where Jim Carrey is inside of, I think it's his memory, his dream, his afterlife. I don't know if he actually had just like a flashback or a memory or something, a remembrance that came to him. There's a part where he's talking to Morgan Freeman, who depicts God in the movie. Jim Carrey opens up this cabinet. He's like in this white space and there's a cabinet sitting there. And he opens the cabinet and the drawer flies back with all these files. That is what your Akashic records are. That movie was depicting what your Akashic records looks like. So when you open that file, there's going to be, the cabinet, there's going to be a bunch of different files. And all those files are all of your lifetimes. Okay, so think of your Akashic records as such. All the different lifetimes that you've lived, all the memories that the universe is holding onto of your soul. Because remember, your soul is a recurring energy. You know, after this lifetime, it doesn't just end there. You have several lifetimes. It continues because energy cannot be created or destroyed. Energy just transfers. So it continues. It goes on and on and on and on. There's no beginning or end. It just is. So when you consider that, you can just only imagine how far or how long your cabinet of files are when it comes to your Akashic records, especially the older the soul is. The older the soul is, then the longer the files are, the more to your Akashic records there are. So in that Akashic records, each lifetime will have a kin number. That is your soul's blueprint in the current lifetime you're experiencing. So in this current lifetime, you have a kin number. That kin number that you have in this current lifetime is going to show you exactly what your purpose is for this current lifetime. What are you here to do? What were you called to do? What does your contract say you chose to come here to do so that you can complete this contract in this lifetime? And then as you move forward into your next lifetime, you can either choose to ascend or repeat the same cycle. I don't know if it's possible to descend, to go, regress back into a lower energy. I'm not sure if that's possible, but I believe that, yes, you can definitely ascend further when you complete or fulfill, I should say, your current life's purpose. So that's what your current kin number will tell you. And you may be able to also find out with your kin number. Well, you can find out a lot of different things with your kin number. You can also find out what you were doing in your past lifetimes and why you were doing those things in your past lifetimes and why it may have brought you to the current lifetime of why you chose the current mission that you're on, because you're also fulfilling the past lifetimes, right? Especially if you're here still doing it, you're still fulfilling that life's purpose. That means maybe in your past lifetimes you haven't fulfilled that life's purpose. So it'll tell you all the things that you may have done wrong or the directions that you've gone that didn't take you towards fulfillment, and then kind of give you a warning to not go in those same directions, because that's what you did in your past lifetime that brought you here to, redo this lifetime again. So this video is going to support you. If you can use it as a tool, it will really be effective if you can allow it to be. It's not something that is for everyone. If you feel called to finding out your soul's purpose and discovering your Akashic records of this lifetime and your past lifetime, then this video is for you. If not, it's totally okay, because this information is pretty potent, and I feel a responsibility to share this information and make sure that I'm mindful of making sure you know and understand this isn't for everyone. So if you don't feel called to it, don't force it. Let it be. All right. What does the kin number stem from? The kin number comes from the Mayan dream spell calendar. It is a 260-day sacred cycle that maps human consciousness to cosmic timing. There are 260 kins total, and each one is a unique energetic blueprint made up of two components. One, a solar seal, your archetype / core essence. This is who you are in spiritual form. Second one is a tone, your way of moving through life. So your solar seal is going to be a quiz that I post at the end of the video, and you can take this quiz to further understand what your solar seal is. For example, my solar seal is the Red Resonant Skywalker. I am the dimension traveler. I go between, my soul's purpose is to travel between this physical realm and the higher realms, and in between all realms. So I bring information from the higher realms down to this physical realm to share with the collective, and I act as a bridge to lead the collective across into their soul's purpose. So that's literally what I'm doing right now. And that's my soul signature. So once you figure out your solar seal, this can really support you in moving forward, in taking the next steps, especially in the year 2026. You want to make sure you're utilizing this horse energy so that you can be catapulted forward into what it is that you are called here to do. Okay? The timeline has shifted. You've heard me say that a billion times. So in spiritual form, this is your solar seal. And once you do the quiz at the end of this video, then you can come to understand what your solar seal is. As we move into the tone, now everyone has a tone. The tone, there are 13 tones, by the way, and this describes how your energy operates. Now, for example, I'm tone 7, and I carry mystical, magical, reflective energy. Considering putting that together with my soul's purpose, my soul's purpose is activated through magic, reflective energy. So I automatically act as a mirror to most people, or everyone I should say, that I come in contact with. And you've heard people say that we are all reflections of one another. Yes. But as a tone, my tone number 7, which 7 is a spiritual number, it is a number that God used to complete his completion. He has 7 days. He has 7 days put in place for creation. So 7 is also the number of creation. 7 is the representation of the beginning and the end. And 7 is just a very powerful number. So it brings forth this reflective energy to say, I am you and you are me. When you see me, you see you. And when I see you, I see me. So that's what tone is. Tone is the reflection of how your energy operates, okay? So when you put those two together, you now have your soul's signature. This is your contract. Specifically, I know that you have a lot of teachers who will take you directly to like the elevation part of spirituality. You know, they'll tell you how to just directly get to your superpower, and like just get straight to how to practice it and how to activate it, and all these activation tools. And I feel like a lot of people get left behind because everyone doesn't learn the same way. Everyone's gifts don't come online in the same way. So I do believe that it is important to start from scratch sometimes and kind of creep your way up into your ascension. So I believe that this is what this helps you do. You know, this isn't like, you know, being told to meditate and figure out how to talk to your spirit guides. Like, everyone doesn't know how to do that because a lot of people still have a lot of trauma in their soul signature, their Akashic records, that could stop them from, not stop them, but create just a heavier suppression when it comes to their abilities than others. Some people may be able to get those online a little easier than others because maybe the other person is just carrying heavier trauma, so it may not be as easy. And then a lot of people who really want to grow spiritually are being told that they're behind, when really they just need a different level of guidance. They may need to just start from scratch, start from the bottom, start a little smaller, and then build themselves up into it. Learn how to truly find their own power without having to go to another person to tell them who they are. And then it's like there's all these blockages that show up. You got to pay all this money to go and find out who you are and what your power is. And if you don't have that money, then you just feel like you're just left to figure it out. When you figure out your own soul's purpose on your own and you learn to build that up on your own, you really don't need anybody else, because that's what this is about, right? So you can really help yourself. You can guide yourself. Remember for yourself. And then there's other videos that I've done that help you with somatic exercises so that you can also work on your nervous system. I won't bombard you too much with too much information. I just wanted to make sure that we start here first. There will be a series, I've decided. There's going to be a series on this, and we're going to start here first. Let's first figure out what our kin number is and what our tone is. Your kin number is your solar seal, and your tone is your way of moving through life. So this is your spiritual energy, how you show up in the world, and how you operate and how people receive you. So when you put those two together, then you find your soul's signature. So let's just end it there. I don't want to put too much on you guys. So we'll start there, and then we'll carry it through the series so that you can actually take the time to process and digest the information and really begin your journey on discovering who you are truly, and end the question of who you are and what you're here to do. Okay, so thank you guys so much for tuning in to this video. I really appreciate you for being here. I do have a few things I want to share before I go. I do have my Quantum Ascension workbook that's on Amazon. You can definitely grab that workbook, and it'll help you with 90 days of self-devotion. This is the most devoted I've ever been to myself. I'm telling you, because that is something I've struggled with my whole life. I've always been the type of person to put everything and everyone before me. And I came to the end of the 90 days a completely different person. And I want that for you as well. And if you're looking for just a new life, a new lifestyle, a different reality, you need to remember you can bring that in for yourself. And it starts with self-devotion. So if you need support with that workbook is a physical workbook where every day you will be journaling and answering questions, and it puts you on a specific regime so that you can have a schedule in place to help yourself move up into the next level. There's also a dosha quiz, a part of that workbook as well, that you can do to understand your body's energy. Also, I do have my family YouTube channel that you can definitely follow. I'll link that below so that you guys can go and support my mom and dad. They're doing their vlogging thing now. It's so cute. And just whenever you get a chance, if you feel called to, feel free to follow them and support their channel. And again, I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for joining today. And I will see you guys in the next one. And we're going to take this to the next level. Okay? So make sure you're following along. Love you guys. Peace.